What is one misconception that you both see out there in the autism community that you wish was debunked?
That we're not smart. I've literally told a friend once that I had autism, and she said to me, and I'm quoting this directly, "But you talk." I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Sorry, I don't know what the language is.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I was like, what the hell does that have to do with anything at all? Like, okay. Like, and she's like, no. The most people I've met, they can't talk. I'm like, yeah, but they're still smart. Just because they don't have language doesn't mean they aren't smart. Like, so I feel like that misconception of not giving people like us a chance to prove themselves and not being able to like assuming automatically that they're going to be dumb because of what they have is, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, that's a huge pet peeve of mine. Intelligence, definitely. Well, that doesn't also mean that we have outbursts or anything like that. That does not mean that we are sensitive to anything. Mm-hmm. Like, when people think of autism, like, they think of all those things, like, just all in one. And that, like, some people even try to, and this comes from personal experience, some people try to purposely provoke me so that they can try to make it come out.
They have done that with me too. That was my entire public school career.
This happened in college too, but hopefully it stops there.
What would you guys like the world to know about you?
Kind of did. I kind of let the world know about me in a Facebook post like I made like 6 years ago about what I had and everything. So I kind of said what I wanted to say. It's just like, it was a very much a this is me kind of thing, and this is what I have. So really just that I'm autism and I'm proud to have it.
I want people to know that just because my symptoms were very much the classic ones, sensory and even behavior and everything, just because they were at one time so overwhelming, like on a huge scale, like that's not me anymore. I feel like discriminated against sometimes because of that.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I always have been an outsider. I'll just put it that way. Still am.
What were some of the main obstacles and strengths that came with your diagnosis when you were originally diagnosed?
Well, I knew that I was smart and did really well in some like random little areas. It wasn't always like the ones that we were supposed to focus on, like in class, whatever the subject was. And I guess you guys can imagine what that feels like when you're not familiar with the topic and they expect you to kind of contribute or give an answer to something.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you kind of just freeze. And that's where I'm just like, am I smart? Because I just don't feel the same connection to the topic as everybody else seems to at this moment, basically where the diagnosis happened. So right around 2.5.
John, same question to you. When were you diagnosed and what were some of your main strengths and obstacles?
I was diagnosed at the age of 3. To my memory, I was actually diagnosed twice. Once because I think my parents took me to one doctor that spent 10 minutes with me before making a proper diagnosis. Parents didn't think that was enough time, so they sent me to a guy named Dr. Arnold Gold, who spent 2 hours with me before letting my parents know, like, he has this and this. He has the ability to overcome it, though. Just keep at it with him. And I think my big thing for me that I had to overcome was language. I had problem kind of saying my thoughts into words. So, for example, when I needed my shoes tied from my mom, I would say, "Fix it socks," something like that. And that would mean tie my shoes. And I would script a lot of things I would hear on the TV kind of thing. And then I started going to more speech, occupational therapy, stuff like that, just to kind of make it better. I mean, I still have gross fine motor skills with things. Like I can tie my shoes, but I can't do any other kind of knots, and I'm an Eagle Scout, for goodness sake.
And just out of curiosity, so obviously we both went to community high school together for a little bit, a school for kids with learning disabilities district in Teaneck, New Jersey. From our memories there, was there any memory that stood out to you? Was there any teacher and anything that happened during that time that really stood out to you?
Well, Toby Bronstein actually wrote my letter of recommendation for Centenary.
I'm a paraprofessional at Celebrate the School in Denville. I work with a kid one-on-one, helping him academically and socially. I am also a part-time cashier at a hardware store. I'm not going to say which one for legal reasons, but I'm just going to say it's a big one. And then I'm also currently going back to school to try to get into the career of IT.
Nice. That's awesome. Where are you thinking of going to school?
I'm actually going to like doing community colleges because it's how it works is that it's a lot of certification classes.
Got it.
So I'm currently back at CCM.
Nice. All right, Jen, what about you?
I'm also a paraprofessional at Celebrate the Children's School, and I kind of the meme phrase "you had one job" applies to me because the one thing that I've really done as a job is this, but I started out with the summer camps, and being a para is something that I've done probably for 99.9% of my life.
Somebody who is watching this has been bullied in the past. What advice would you give to them?
Stick to your guns, number one. That's something that I've always did. Just know, just know all the right things to do. Just do what you know is right, especially from within. And, just obviously show them your strengths. And, just find little ways to, I guess, connect with them.
Jen, what would you consider the right thing to do in a situation like that?
We've always been told not to fight back, as like it's absolutely difficult as it is, but even when you're not at a tough point, just you have another chance to either do the right thing or the wrong thing. I know that's a broad statement, but it's the best way I can describe it. And this, I'm even putting myself in that situation right now, recalling it all. That's where my answers come from, mainly recollection and feelings.
Got it. John, how about you? What's some advice you would give to somebody who's been bullied?
To just keep your head held high, take the higher road. I know that always seems like the harder of the options to do, especially when you just you do want to fight back and you do want to, but I always say, who you are and what you are as a person, like what you stand for. So if you can know that, and if you have a good support system to back that up, then you will be okay. But nice. Just be proud of who you are and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
I love that. I know for me, growing up with autism, one of the things that experts said was that I would be lucky to graduate from high school. And, experts don't always get it right. And I now have my doctorate today. Was there ever an expert that said anything to your family members about what you couldn't achieve, and now you've kind of achieved it, and you've been like, hey, look at me now?
To my memory, no. I just know that I feel like I've constantly surpassed my teachers' expectations growing up. That's really the big thing, is that I feel like I've up and with the obviously college is a whole different ball game, but I feel like I definitely did, constantly surpass my teachers' expectations of me.
I think the boldest statement that I've heard that my parents told me about was that someone told them I should be institutionalized.
Oh, God. How old were you?
Well, this is terrible. Right around the time that I got my diagnosis, from my understanding of what was told.
Is there anything else you would like for people at home to know about your stories?
Well, again, even though it is a cliche, it is possible. Just as long as you know what you can do, as long as you know what you're capable of, and you can use how you learn to your advantage, then it's amazing what you can do.
Awesome. John, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, Jen kind of took the words right out of my mouth there. It is, it may not seem it, but for some, it is definitely possible. And I've seen a lot of kids come farther than when I first met them at the school, and they've done an amazing job. And so I definitely think that, you know, I believe that one of the big things they tell us at the school is presume competence. And I feel like that's a really important thing, because you have to presume that, you know, these kids are smart, and you have to let them know they do know what they're doing and that they can achieve what they want to achieve.
Everyone, Kerry Magro here from A Special Community. I can't thank you enough for watching this video, and if you like this video, please click on some of the more videos around our YouTube page. We are just trying to give a voice to countless people in our neurodiverse community, so please, if you can, subscribe to our video page, and then you'll also get to see a little bit more about my story from nonverbal autism to today being a professional speaker. Thanks so much, y'all.